Hi, I'm Mel,
And I'm Janelle.
and this is the Murder Mamas.
Hello.
Hello.
I feel like we both have we're scared that it's not
I know
actually
that
record.
we are re-recording
Same
the
episode.
same episode that was supposed to come out
Last week.
but didn't.
Because we didn't plug a mic in.
Shit happens.
Sure does.
Okay. So today we're going to be talking about Evil Lives Here, The Last Blanco, Season 4, Episode 3.
Yes.
And this is a lot to take in. I don't know what else to say. But it opens up with a man, Michael, who was telling about his what?
I love that you're the one who rewatched it and you're like, what is his name?
I got my phone, but
It doesn't count.
okay, so he's telling us about his family, and the first thing that he says is he's not allowed to speak about his family or his family business. Or this was like in the past when he was a younger kid.
Yeah, he's mentioning how weird it is that he's coming on this to talk explicitly about his family. Right. It was so ingrained in him to never do that as a child.
Yeah.
Then we learned that Griselda Blanco was arrested on February 17th, 1985, right in front of her son, Michael.
And he was pretty young, right?
I think he was like a teen.
Oh, he was a teen then, yeah. Yeah.
Which,
still,
your frontal lobe's not fully developed yet.
No, not yet. And he says people thought she was evil. And he says there are two different sides to the story. So he's here to tell, like, both those sides, I guess.
Yeah, but he also says that he started to understand that his mom wasn't a regular person.
Right.
Like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. Things he's picked up on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He also says that she was a very elegant lady.
Yeah.
And that there was a switch that would flip where she would go from elegant to rude. And I'm like, what an interesting way to describe your mom.
Yeah.
She's so elegant.
Yeah. That is weird.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
So maybe some people are fancy.
Maybe.
It's not me.
No. My kids would not describe me as elegant.
No, more like feral.
Oh, shit.
Like a little trash panda or something.
Yeah, but they had a lot of money, so
it's like easier to be elegant.
It's easier to be elegant when you have all that money, I think. So then he mentions his father, whose name
I'm not even trying it. That's how you know it's a tough one.
Not gonna go there.
They did call him the actor because of his flamboyant lifestyle.
Yeah. And yeah. But he knew his limits with his wife.
Yes, like Griselda was the true matriarch of the family.
Yeah.
She called all the shots.
Yeah. Like, you'd be done. You don't talk like that to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he said he had money growing up, but he never really understand what his mom did for a living. Like, he started to notice, like, yeah, we have a big house and all these cars and all these people in our house that stay with us, and it's just kind of different than everybody else's. So
yeah, but so Michael's 10 years younger than his closest brother in age.
Yeah.
And so he was very isolated from the outside world. So I think even his frame of reference is probably not there.
No.
Like, it's not like there was the internet where he could see how normies live. You know? Like,
yeah. He wasn't allowed to play with friends. He wasn't even allowed to go out front. Like,
no.
So he had nothing, really.
But he does say that he felt like his mom might have been like a celebrity or something.
Yeah.
Because they also called her the chameleon, and she would wear all these different costumes to go out.
Right.
So he was like, maybe that's why.
Yeah.
And Griselda had told him to call his parents by fake names.
Yeah.
Which were Beatrice and Tony.
Yeah.
So he was like, that has to be it. Like, she just didn't want people to know who she really was.
Right.
Which, like, for a small child, that would make sense.
That would make sense, yes. I see that.
Griselda also demanded Michael follow certain rules growing up.
Yeah.
So he was always told, like we mentioned earlier, he's told not to talk about what happened in the house.
Yeah. Oh, and then I was gonna say he also liked playing in his mom's closet. It was a big walk-in closet, and he would go in there and run in and out of the clothes, it seemed like. And then he looked up one day and saw just stacks of blocks of cash, I think is what he called it. Blocks.
Blocks of cash.
And the mom walks in and she was like, "Oh, do you want to play with it?"
Yeah, and like I always have to remember that that's not how it actually happened. But in the reenactment, he's like building a like a Lego.
Yeah, it's like Lego logs or
like
Lincoln
logs out of these just like bricks of cash. What is going on?
Who needs toys when you have bricks of cash laying around?
And Griselda had told him to tell people that his family was in real estate.
Yeah.
So he did.
Because you can make money that way. Supposedly.
Allegedly. Michael was really like I had mentioned, he's very isolated. So he's homeschooled. He was not allowed to play with other kids in the neighborhood. And this is because Griselda had been telling him it wasn't safe for him to play outside. Yeah. So there were like these ominous, like unknown figures that were just always out to get them.
Right. The enemies.
Yeah. Because paranoia.
Yeah.
One day, Michael found a small gun in Griselda's purse because he was snooping again. He was a snooper.
He was a snooper.
Which I can
I mean, if you don't have friends or do anything, like
I'm a nosy snooper too.
I'd be snoopy too.
So he finds this gun in her purse. Yeah. And Griselda tells Michael that the gun was to stop thieves again. Yeah. We're talking about like these unknown scary people. Yeah. From stealing her diamond rings. Right. And he was like, okay. And then moved on. Right.
Because he's still young. So it's like there's not a lot of backup questions to ask after that. I don't think.
And I think he probably knows too.
And he knows
that, like, yeah. Like everybody else, that you just shut up.
You just shut up. Yeah.
You don't push.
No.
So then Michael notices that his family is different because there's always these bodyguards around them. Mm-hmm. And one of these guys brought a gun to dinner. And Griselda just lost it on him, like freaked out, yelled, like, you don't do that. Yeah. Which is honestly like so hypocritical because she carries a gun around in her purse.
Right. I know. But, and I was like, and then I was thinking, wouldn't that be like better to have the gun right there? Like if people were to try and break in, he could just pick up his gun from the table instead of having to walk across the room.
I'm going to assume that it was that she didn't want it to be present.
Like, yeah, I get that. But
to have that appearance that they're like normal for Michael, maybe. I don't know. Because, you know, like at that time, his other brothers were probably older. Yeah. They probably cared less about them and was trying to keep up appearances for like, him. The baby.
Yeah, the baby. It sounded like she was all over him.
And then so Michael discusses and talks about how over the years these men would just like disappear. Yeah. But because he has no other friends, he would become really attached to these bodyguards. Yeah. And
he said they were my friends.
Especially this one. Yeah. So the one we're going to talk about right now. Yeah. He gets up and Mario, his specific bodyguard, was gone. And they had been like, he had been with him for years, he said at that point. Yeah. And normally Mario would have to wake him up to like get him. He would have to Mario would have to wake him up to get him out of bed. And that doesn't happen this day. So he's like, where's Mario? Where's Mario? Where's Mario? Yeah. And Griselda told Michael that he went back to college. And so she would use this excuse for everyone. Yeah. And he says he remembers thinking, why is so much of my family in college? Like, why are all these people going to college?
What's happening? We usually have like a brother in college or something, but not like 15 people in the last year that decided they wanted to go back to college. Yeah,
it's just it's the it's the Griselda's working in Griselda's house to college pipeline,
right?
Exactly. College. We'll put college in there.
Yeah,
but he also says like they needed to learn. Yeah. So I don't know what Mario did.
Right.
He's never seen from again.
He's no longer with us.
Yeah. Then they go on a family beach vacation. So he's telling us about this. Yeah. And Griselda's bodyguards brought a man in. They bring a man in, and his mom and this man fought. Yeah. Then Michael's put in another room. The man was screaming. When Michael asked Griselda why, she told him to just ignore it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So they start like torturing this person.
Right. And then he's like, and then all of a sudden I don't hear screaming anymore.
Yeah.
Like, maybe not do it in the beach house that you're renting for vacation. Like,
well, and then it's like, was that vacation for the beach or was it specifically for
that guy?
That guy.
Jesus. Shit.
I feel like I would never be a good criminal because there's so many lies to like keep up with. And just my base of anxiety, it would be impossible for me to get through daily life.
No. I could not do that. No, I would be anxious all it like, no, there's no way.
My watch would just constantly be like, your stress level is high.
Way high.
Do you need a breathing exercise?
Do you need me to call 911?
Do you need a breathing exercise right now?
Yeah,
you're stressed.
I could never do that.
Could never.
Or like people on the run, you know? Like there's no way.
People who have double lives.
Yeah.
The stress of that.
I'm always like, I wonder what it's like to be born without anxiety.
Or empathy, or like IBS. Like
all this shit.
Stomach. There wouldn't be a solid out of me at all. I would be too nervous.
I think most people would be.
I like to believe that the majority of people would not be successful in those fields. That's what I like to believe.
Yeah.
So then the next thing Michael tells us about is that his dad's having this party one time, and I'm gonna let you tell about the party.
Okay. So he comes downstairs, Michael.
Again, he is a snoopy little kid.
He is a snoopy little kid.
I'm here for it. Love it.
My parents would have parties and I'd come like to the staircase and like look down and my mom would be like, go to bed.
My parents never did that. Yeah.
Yeah. But I would get up all the time. I refused to go to bed. I think they just got so mad. No, not going to bed. So his father was having a party and there was music and dancing, and Michael comes downstairs and sees a woman dressed in red who was beautiful. And he said, he's growing up with his older brothers who are 10 years his senior, and they're like, yeah, if your woman's beautiful, you go tell her like, hey, you're a mamacita and all this stuff. And
you take what you want.
Take what you want.
Is what he says.
And oh my God. So he's not knowing what that means. Like, I don't think he really knows exactly what it means.
He knew where to go.
He knew where to go. But I mean, I used to do the same thing to my mom's dress. So he went up and like went under her dress or something.
Yeah. And he grabs her butt.
Yeah. He grabs her butt. That's a little too much. But, yeah, so the husband is like, whoa, and starts yelling at Michael and calls him
a son of a bitch.
A son of a bitch.
And grabs him like aggressively.
Yeah. Yeah. So then dad comes over and it was like, you disrespect my family and my house and all this stuff. And then he gets taken outside.
The bodyguards first make Michael go upstairs.
Yeah.
Where he hears gunshots.
Boom, boom.
And then everything goes quiet.
Yeah.
And then the bodyguards are starting a fire.
Yeah.
And that's the last thing he sees.
Yeah.
And the next day, he goes downstairs and he sees the remains of this man's body.
Yeah. They couldn't fucking put that away.
Okay. Pause. I just want to say, you have an issue with guns being at the table, but not burned bodies.
Right.
Like, what?
Shit. That your kids come down and look at? Like,
the logic does not exist.
Right. It really doesn't.
But he also doesn't mention that his mom was there. So he doesn't say that his mom was present for that story.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But Michael in present is discusses a lot about how much he feels sad about this specific incident because his one action caused this domino effect where that woman's husband was gone. He doesn't know if they had kids that lost a father. He doesn't know any of that, but it immediately changed the lives of several people.
Right.
And he feels really bad about that.
Yeah.
He does seem very genuine.
He does seem genuine. I think he does.
One night, Michael's family comes apart at the seams. So Michael wakes up and he had heard his parents fighting / screaming at each other.
Yeah.
And he finds out that Michael's father was cheating on Griselda with an American lady. Blonde, tall, beautiful American lady. Griselda said she was going to kill the quote-unquote gringa bitch.
Yep.
And Michael never saw his father with that woman again.
Yeah. So apparently he had seen his father with her a few times and kind of knew what was going on. And then never again. She went to college.
She must have needed to learn something.
Yeah. Okay. So then they end up separating. And his father has his visits. I hate that they're like visits. They're called like visits, like that just, I don't know. That made my heart sad when I was just like, ugh.
Yeah. And it also, Michael explains how he thought everything would be like, okay.
Yeah.
Once they separated.
Yeah. Yeah. And so
I'm going to spoiler alert here. It's not okay.
It's not okay. So his father comes to pick him up and he tells his mom and Michael that they're going to go to the mall.
Yeah.
But instead, they went to the airport and flew to Colombia, which I'm like, again, this lady is feared by many, and you just kidnapped her son and took him out of the country that you're living in. Like, what did you think was going to happen? Mama Bear comes out.
I mean,
I don't know what the laws were back then with child custody. But
I don't either. I mean, I think that's still kidnapping. And,
yeah,
that's like, some people talk about how that's like a real fear they have when their spouse has like dual citizenship.
Oh, yeah.
Getting their children a passport because they can just take them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like when you fly with Avery alone, do they ever ask Avery to like say who you are and your name? No, they do with my kids.
Do they?
Yeah, like with my boys when I fly with them alone, they'll ask them like, "What's your name? Who is she?"
Yeah.
Like, do I look like I'm stealing? Like,
trying to get me.
Go on. They can have an airport adventure. No,
they may have when the boys and Avery have flown together by themselves. So maybe they did then, but no, never with me and Avery.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's because you're the same gender. Like, I wonder if they would ask Chris if Chris was flying with them alone.
Maybe because she just fucking hugs me the whole time. So they're like, she must be her favorite. You can see the mom like,
yeah.
There is no question.
Yeah, and I used to fly my like the boy I nannied. I used to fly him across the country.
Yeah, and
I had to have like special documents to be able to fly with a minor that was not my child.
Right.
Which I thought was interesting. Too.
Yeah,
like you just think you buy tickets and like no one would care, but I appreciate it.
No, yeah. And they're pretty good with the kids flying along.
Yeah,
and it's like you can't go anywhere, so
it's different.
Yeah.
But anyways, so they take him to Colombia. His dad takes him to Colombia, kidnaps him. The thing I don't understand, again, they're criminals, so like,
right.
I don't think they make the most sound decisions.
Probably not.
But like, why would you go to a country where she is obviously connected?
Right. Like that's where she gets her drugs from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you go? Like that's like walking into the snake pit or the lion's den. Like
that's not where I would have chosen to go. Like, I don't know. Did he have business there and decide to take Michael or?
I have no idea. Huh. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, well. And no one really gets to find out because in Colombia, Michael and his father get pulled over almost immediately by the police. And the head cop tells his dad to get out of the car. Michael's father tries to run because he quickly realizes what's happening.
Yeah.
But he gets shot 27 times by the police.
27 times in front of his son.
In front of his son. By two different officers with two different kinds of guns that I don't remember which ones he said they were.
Yeah, I don't know.
27 times.
He's like, I could see holes in my dad's body.
Yeah. Like Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
Michael does say that was the worst day of his life.
Yeah.
And Griselda doesn't even come. She sends someone to pick him up in Colombia.
Right.
Which makes sense because she couldn't, right? Like,
yeah, it would be.
Also, she's on the run this whole time.
Right. It wouldn't be smart of her to go. Yeah.
And so they come and pick him up and he's back in Miami a few days later.
Yep.
Like that.
a lot to take.
Traumatizing.
Yeah. Well, his whole life has been trauma. Jeez, I mean, this is a lot worse, but
there were rumors that Griselda placed the hit on Michael's father, and Griselda denied that and told him it was their enemies. Again, these enemies.
Enemies.
But following that, Griselda becomes extremely protective.
Yeah.
Michael wasn't even allowed to sleep in his own bed anymore.
Yeah. She's totally babying him.
And then so he also finds himself now constantly on the move.
Yeah.
They're going from like, I don't want to say it.
Well, they always have a suitcase packed.
He always has a backpack.
Yeah.
She has a suitcase full of money.
Yeah.
And like her suitcase full of clothes. And Griselda told him that they were in a state of emergency because the bad men were after them.
Yeah.
I'm like, how old is he at this point? Like,
yeah,
I don't see still believing this.
Right.
And then Griselda teaches him to never let the men, quote unquote, with the letters on their jackets get in the house.
3 letters.
Yeah, with the 3 letters on the jacket.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is like, it seems like this is when she gets arrested. So he has to be like a teen at this point.
Yeah, I would.
Like a preteen teen. Like,
yeah.
How much are you still believing?
Right.
Probably not that much.
Probably not, but he's probably not.
But what else can he do?
Yeah. His brain can't comprehend the whole thing of like what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then now we are at February 17th, 1985, and the bad men finally caught up with them. Michael sees guys with jackets with letters, and he's afraid because of the things that Griselda has told him about these people. And they come in and they are just ripping the house apart.
Right.
Like,
so he's like, oh my gosh, it's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, these men are bad.
Yeah.
They're destroying everything.
Right.
And so then he says that Griselda is upstairs next to the Bible, just comical, crying. And she's saying that the gun wasn't hers.
Right.
So it's that silver gun that he had seen in her purse.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's not mine. That's not mine. That's not mine. That's not mine. That's not mine.
Yeah.
And he knows that she's lying.
Yeah.
But he has no idea why she's been arrested.
Yeah. But they did take her to jail.
They do.
Yeah. And he says he lost everything right there that night.
Yeah.
And the letters we're talking about are FBI.
Yeah. FBI and DEA. Those were the letters. But he couldn't let in.
Yeah.
So then he gets the whole truth from his cousin.
Yeah.
One night. As like a teen.
Yeah. His cousin's like, you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Cousin's a little older.
Yeah.
But he said his mother is the boss of his mom, his cousin's mom, his cousin's dad, you know, the aunts, the uncles, just everyone. She's the queen of cocaine. I'd be like, holy shit.
The Black Widow.
The Black Widow.
The boss of bosses.
Yes. And
Colombian.
law enforcement had been hunting Griselda for at least 10 years.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. Can you imagine? Oh my God.
No, the stress of it.
No. There's no way. And
I honestly don't think there's enough money in this world to live with that amount of stress.
No, I couldn't do that.
I couldn't do it.
No. I'd be up all night, insomnia, like, no.
The paranoia
yeah.
would kill me. Like, I would be like, look at the window.
Yeah.
I would do like one big crime, and then that's
right.
And I'm done. And then I just have to live with the guilt of the one forever.
Forever, yeah.
That would be so hard.
Insane. Oh my God, I can't even imagine. Yeah. So at its height, her $1 billion empire imported 3,400 pounds of coke each month.
Cocaine.
Just yeah, not Coke bottles.
Correct. I'm just clarifying.
Yeah.
Which, when we were here last time, I did the math on that. And that was a lot of grams.
Yeah. It's a lot per month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like hundreds of thousands.
Yeah. So then he goes on to, find out that his mom is suspected to have ordered over 200 hits, which is insane. Like,
so many.
I can't imagine thinking that. You think your mom's a bitch. Go talk to this kid.
Seriously.
Oh. And then while prosecutors worked on building murder cases, Griselda was convicted of conspiracy to distribute cocaine. She was sentenced to 15 years in prison.
Which doesn't feel like enough.
It's not a lot for $1 billion empire that she made.
Yeah.
That's a lot of cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that would be life. But 15 years, I guess.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Michael visits her a lot when she's in prison. He says that he loved visiting Day during his teenage years.
Yeah.
And then Griselda's given another 20 years in prison, I think, for murders.
For murders, yeah.
Yeah.
For two of them. Two of the murders that she committed.
2 out of 200.
2 out of 200.
Not a great success rate.
Got 20 years. So she did spend another 20 years in prison.
Michael's brother told him the truth about his father's death.
Yeah.
And he tells him that Griselda had put the hit on his father. And so Michael decides that he's going to confront her during visiting.
Yeah.
And she still lied to him. But he says he looked at her face and he knew.
Yeah.
Like he knew that she was hiding it.
Yeah.
And that she was hiding it to not like make it real or something.
Yeah.
Like he almost had empathy for her in that moment.
Yeah.
Even though she did something so unthinkable.
Yeah. And in June 2004, after 20 years in prison, Michael's mom was released and deported to Colombia.
Which seems like he mentions how he had said, like, if she gets deported, she's going to get murdered. Yeah. Like, that is going to happen.
Right.
And they were like, well, don't care.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have had $1 billion empire.
No. And on September 3rd, 2011? 12. Michael got a call and said that his mom was shot at a butcher shop that she was at the time.
Assassinated. It's like 2 men trying to get some sliced deli meat, man.
And then he goes on to talk about, at times he was tempted to go into the family business because it didn't stop after his mom. Like, his brothers were involved. Yeah, the uncles were involved. There's aunts, cousins. Like,
it's like family business. Yeah, like when you lose the person in power, right? There's like that power vacuum. And someone else steps up.
Sure. And so he was like, yeah, maybe I should. But then he made the choice to, like, stop that.
Well, I think he got arrested, right?
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was like, you can look it up. It's public record.
Oh, yeah, that's
like
right.
He had been arrested. And so he was like, I'm actually not going to live
that life. This life. Yeah. I don't like that. So he stopped.
I have a conscience.
Yeah. Yeah. But then he was like, I'm like one of the last male relatives alive in his family.
22?
22 members of his family were dead.
Yeah. Or in jail or something.
No, dead.
Oh, just
dead. Mom, dad, brothers, cousins, aunts, uncles, best friends, like everyone, 22 people.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder if he has anxiety. That's why he couldn't do it.
Maybe. Shit. Yeah. So.
Poor Michael.
Yeah, so that was it. I think his mom did try and baby him a lot because he was born so much later than his brothers, and his brothers were already old enough she probably had them doing something. Yeah, at that age. So she was trying to
protect him.
Yeah.
The horrors that she was introducing.
She brought into the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a real double-edged sword right there.
It is. I